I have been working on a few different projects in Unreal Engine 5 over the last 6 years. On my latest project, when working on it, I thought, what kind of tooling can I create that would make my development faster? I started working on a few different issues that I had, from string table translations to an absurd amount of rooms that I had to create. My latest project has non-Euclidean geometry, where physical space doesn't necessarily connect through usual physics. So while using the tool, it became clear to me that this tool could be useful to others, so I decided to show what I've got. This is Sophia Forge. Sophia Forge is a game development workstation. Think of it as the place where you put all your design data your project has in it. The concept is somewhat simple. Suppose you have some items in your game and you want to change the data on them. If you do it through normal documents, you can have two places with different data. Since Sophia Forge is JSON based, it means we can either import the data from the Forge to code directly or even use the files as reference. Since I am developing a top-down horror game that is kind of a love letter to a bunch of games like Signalis, the Doom mod, myhouse.wad, Humaniki, Resident Evil, the list kind of goes a long way. Anyway, I need to create a lot of rooms, probably more than 100 different ones, and these are all individual levels that have their own geometry. And while it is quite easy to make the base geometry like the walls and the floors, I also wanted to look cool, so I need to have architecture. I needed a system where I could draw the walls I wanted, check the architecture, add the materials, and export it to Unreal 5. And I'm honestly proud of what I did. Let's give it a look. This is the room editor. It is the Sophia Forge plugin I made for my game, and the type of plugin I would make for anyone using the app. But you might say, oh, I don't use Unreal Engine 5. That's okay. The tool provides JSON to anyone, regardless of engine. Link it, then change something in Sophia Forge, and it would change in your game. For people who like to use frameworks, such as MonoGame, you can import the data without issues. And for people who use it in HTML, you can even set the asset folder to be the same asset folder you would use when building the game. Over Unreal, you would import the asset from Sophia Forge to the engine. On HTML, it comes for free. And it's not just rooms. The idea is that the tool would be able to do pretty much anything. Here is how it works. You select what kinds of plugins you want to have in your project. If you want, you can use the non-Euclidean floor and room editor, but if you just want levels with tiles, you can use the Levels plugin, which can also read tiled levels. Or you can go to the audio plugins and start describing how each audio in your game should sound, what instruments you want, and add the direction the game should follow. The app has a lot of different plugins for different usages. There's a bug tracking plugin, which allows you to create bugs. Items not doing what they should do? Create a bug? Link to it. Then you can check which bugs you want to work on, which entities they relate to. When you come back to the bugged item, it will show you. You can even add a note here so that others can know what you mean. You can also track progress with any entity you want to. And honestly, if you have no interest in any of those, just remove them from your project plugin list and they will not bother you. For game design, I added a few plugins for characters, items, data tables, general systems, and state machines. Those last two, they are essentially how does a component X work on my game and what states and transitions anything can have. Useful for programmers. For them, the idea is that you use the systems plugin as a reference when programming, or you can connect your MCP and ask it to do the boring stuff for you. And there is also a localization tool in case you want to translate the game to other languages. For art and audio in general, you can add what you have already done to the app. Concept art, spreadsheets, cutscenes, visual effects, meshes, fonts, textures, sound effects, soundtracks, ambience, voiceover. There's even a color palette one, used mostly for reference, and if you want, you can use it as a system name, so your project and only your project has a different visual. I also try to make it easy to write stories with the story, the lore codex, and the dialogue plugins. The first one is describing how you tell the story. Acts and beats. The codex is where you put your story data, from just a few concepts to in-game documents to maybe even a story script. The third one is for dialogues, so that you can check whether your characters say what, or the system. While I believe this tool should have all possible integrations, it's not feasible to do it all by myself. That is why, if you are missing any feature you would like to see in the tool, please reach out to me. I'll look into it and implement it as soon as possible. Right now, I'm looking into adding a UI plugin, a Quest plugin for the RPG lovers, and something special for the visual novel developers. By the time you watch this video, these plugins might be up already, and you might miss something else. Get in the Discord and send me a message, or create a ticket in the GitHub, or send me an email. I will gladly answer you. I understand that some people dislike using AI for development, so I want to make this very clear. This tool is very much people first, AI second. Everything that is in the tool is made so that people could use it in the way they want, while also giving access to AI usage through opt-in MCP. This means there is no AI asset generation. Your sounds and images come from you, not from the tool. However, you can still use AI to help you manage your project, so you can leave the boring tasks to AI and do all the real, creative, fun work yourself. If you would like to give it a try, Go to our website and download it. It's shareware, based on WinRAR and Reaper. Then tell me how it went. If you find any bugs or want a feature, give me a nudge. I'd rather build this with people using it than build it in a vacuum. Tell me what's broken, what's missing. That's how we will make it better.